はい、皆様こんにちは。
こんにちは。
今日はですね、ここに住み始めてからもう去年の11月に引っ越してから1年になるんですけれども、この家の光熱費だとか生活費だとかを払う時にやはり今すごくニュースとかで毎日言われているイギリスの生活費の高騰についてちょっとまたお話ししていきたいと思います。
じゃあ
どうぞ。
What do you want me to explain?
The World Cup? England?
Penalties. Yeah, well, I'm honestly not really that bothered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. I didn't expect England to do very well. So I'm not really that disappointed.
But did you enjoy watching this year?
Yeah, no, I think it's been great.
It's still going on.
It's been a fantastic World Cup so far.
Yeah.
I think Argentina are going to win it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what did you think of Japan?
Japan, fantastic. I mean, yeah, they messed up in the penalties, but the way they came back, I think it's mentality. I think they were absolutely fantastic in the second half of the games against Germany and against Spain. Really amazing drama. But they're a good team. They've got good players. But I think as I said, their mentality in the second half of those games to come back and win, I think was absolutely, 150% committed. Really, really impressive. So I think the Japan team can be really proud.
That's what the news media said in England.
Yeah, everybody's really impressed. They did a great job. So, I think Argentina are going to win it. They've got the best goalkeeper.
Okay.
Because he plays for Aston Villa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So, what do you want me to talk about?
The first energy cost.
Energy costs. Yeah. Okay.
ユーティリティ、あれですね、光熱費について私たちが今払っている。
So I've done this graphic.
Okay.
Which it's comparing our energy data from December last year, 2021, with November this year, last month. Okay. The bills and when we receive them is really complicated, and it takes quite a bit of effort to really understand what's going on. But this is the actual data for us for the month of December last year versus November this year. I can't do November last year because we moved in during November and we paid no attention to what was switched on or off. Okay, so the first section is actual energy consumed. All right, so in the month of November this year was actually 23% down.
Which is good.
Yeah. Okay.
We're saving energy.
Yeah, although I think we were using too much last year. I mean, I think we could still reduce it quite a lot if we, we manage our heating and hot water system better. I reckon we could reduce it by another 15,
oh, really?
Maybe 20%, yeah. Electricity also down 20%, okay. So in terms of kilowatt hours, which is a measurement of energy, right, our total energy consumption in kilowatt hours reduced by 23%.
That's good.
Okay, all right. The energy unit cost, pounds per kilowatt, okay, for gas. This is data actually taken from our bills, okay. Gas is now 142% more expensive than it was last year. Okay.
すごい高くなりましたね。
Electricity is 55% more expensive than it was last year. We also pay standing charges. They're relatively small, okay, but I don't understand why our standing charge for gas has gone down slightly. But for electricity, it's gone up by 65%.
Okay.
This pays for the infrastructure, the cables, the meters, etc.
But
those are relatively small numbers. So for us it's not significant. But it's important to note, if you're a family or a household who really have no money left and you want to switch your heating off to save money, you're still paying the standing charge.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's
it's
hundreds
not
of
cheap.
pounds a year, right? So our actual costs, okay, our gas cost has gone up by 86%.
Okay.
Our electricity cost has gone up by 24%. This is actually what we have paid. Okay.
Okay.
The standing charge has gone up 28%, but it's small. Okay. So our total energy cost, so our total energy bill for the month of December last year was £334. Okay. In November, the month just gone, it was £503. Okay.
500ポンド。
So the key point, even though our energy consumption is down 23% year on year, our bill, how much we're paying, is actually up by 51%.
どれだけそのユニットプライス、ガスと電気が上がったっていうことですね。私たちの使用量は 23% 下がったのに、その私たちが払ってる値段は 51% 上がったんですよね。結構高いですね。
So, you know, I mean, we're in a relatively warm house. We can afford to pay the bill. Yes, we should continue to reduce our energy consumption.
Yeah. Because the 500 something per month, it's really high.
Yeah, it's
日
quite a
本
lot.
円に直したら in Japanese yen, I don't even want to think about it. It's really high.
So, you imagine if you're in a household who is struggling to put food on the table, you know, an increase like that. You know, if you're in a typical old, maybe poorly insulated British house, right? You won't have the ability to reduce your energy consumption unless you just decide to be cold. Okay. We've reduced our energy consumption by just managing the system more. Right?
Yes.
We've not been colder. You know, we've just been switching it off during the day when we don't need it, etc. But if you're in a poorly insulated house and you don't have any obvious ways to manage your heating system more effectively, I mean, the only thing that's going to happen is your bill is going to go up by, you know, much more, 100%.
Yeah.
Or you go cold.
I was talking to a friend in a Japanese school yesterday. She pays 100 for utility bill every month. I think 120. But she used the smart meter and she tested last week because she's been cutting down the electricity she used, the heater she used, but it's been cold last week. So she put the heater on, like central heater on, for the first time. And then one day it was £15. One day.
Yeah.
So if she do that every day, it's gonna be like £450.
Similar to what we're spending.
But now she's paying 100 only, 120 only.
Before.
なんかイギリスの光熱費の支払いのシステム、昔ダディが説明したと思うんですけども、パワーカンパニースコティッシュパワーっていうのを私たちは使ってるんですけども、そこが私たちがだいたいこれぐらい使うであろうっていうのを計算して、それを私たちは払ってるんですね。1年を通して。で、私たち一番最初に去年来た時は280ぐらいで、それが300いくらになって、今は420払ってるんですよね。夏も冬も、夏イギリスはほとんど電気は使わないので、冬に集中するんですよね、そのお金っていうのは。だから私たちはまだクレジットがあるということです。ちょっとややこしいですね、イギリスの支払い方っていうのはね。It's a bit complicated.
Yeah, and it depends which type of deal you have with your power company. You know, some people get a bill every month and they have to make a payment.
そうですね。そういうやり方もだから日本のようにそのビルが来てから払うっていうやり方もあるんですけど、私たちのようにこのディレクトデビットっていうの会社が言った金額を払うと安くなるんですよね、少し。
And some people have prepayment meters. So, you know, you have a meter and you literally put money into it.
That's most expensive.
That's the, you know, the people with more financial problems are the ones who probably have prepayment meters, but they pay the highest rate. I mean, it's not fair.
なんかお金がない人はまあそのデビットをしないでプリペイドで電気を使うらしいんですけど、そのレートが一番高いそうなんですよね。
So a lot of people are really struggling, and you know, some people are even, you know, disconnecting their own supplies because they know they can't afford to pay it. You know, we talked in previous videos about food banks. Okay, some conservative politicians have now started calling them food pantries because it sounds more cozy and nice. Now we also have warm banks. In addition to food banks, there are now in some communities warm banks, which are you know, public places where people can go to keep warm. Britain has the oldest and least insulated housing stock in Europe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of the housing stock in the UK is, you know, 100 years old, you know, Victorian.
Yes.
Brick terrace houses. Many of them don't have insulation in the walls. I mean, like this house, for example, the wall has a cavity in the middle with insulation in it. Okay, but many older houses, it's just a brick wall. So, you know, you've got stone.
So it's cold.
So it's cold. And, you know, in the loft, you know, you need to have thick insulation there to stop heat going out through the roof.
そうですね。上にあります。なんかすごいもこもこのあれが家からその熱を逃げ出さないようにする。
It's mineral wool insulation, and you know it's usually about this thick.
このぐらいの厚さでカバーしてあるんですよ。
But many houses don't have it. Also, you know, a lot of houses don't have double glazed windows. Maybe the windows don't even fit properly. You know, actually our front door here, if you hold your hand up to the gap, there is cold air coming through.
Oh, really?
So we can put a strip of insulation down there to stop the cold air coming through. But it's having a big impact on health for a lot of people, because also a lot of houses in England, if you don't keep them warm, they get damp. So a lot of people are, in addition to being cold, are also struggling with damp, and with that comes mold. With that, you know, there's been some cases in the news with people struggling with respiratory illnesses because of mold growing in their homes, because the homes are damp and they can't afford the heating to keep them dry. So there was even a young boy who was in public housing with mold, and he died because of respiratory illness. So
So that's quite not the really happy news before Christmas.
Well, we're having like 10 days of sub-zero temperatures as well at the moment. So
we got the first snow today. 初雪です今日。かわいい。
So it's going to be freezing for the next week until temperatures start to increase. So it's going to be a very difficult time for people. And of course, it's not just energy costs. A lot of other costs are going up quite dramatically. So we've been looking at a couple of articles in Which magazine, which is a famous British consumer magazine. It reviews products, it looks at prices, if you're thinking about, which new washing machine to buy. Supermarket to shop at, they have lots of information, lots of surveys about, which are the best deals, which are the best products. We subscribe to Which magazine. Is very interesting, especially coming back to the UK, having lived overseas for many years. It was one of the first things I did when I arrived, was subscribe to Which, and it's been really useful for us because there's a lot of things I didn't know about, which phone company was best, which internet provider is best. They review supermarket prices. As you know, inflation has been running just over 10%, but food inflation has been running higher than that, and Which have released some surveys which are really quite useful, looking at supermarket prices. So basically in the UK, we have different types of supermarkets. We have sort of premium supermarkets like Waitrose, Morrison's, and we have sort of really popular supermarkets like Tesco's, and we have some supermarkets which are more budget, like Aldi, Lidl, maybe even Asda. And what they're finding is that the prices of supermarket own brand products are actually going up faster than branded products.
Lime 69p.
Mince pies! We need mince pies.
69p. 1.19. これが1ポンド25。今本当にあまりないので、ポテト2キロで1ポンド99。人参は安いね。1キロ 45p。35p.
Onions. Okay, so
the one we tried.
Yeah.
In us, no, it was Aldi.
It was Aldi. So this chart basically summarizes what I'm talking about. Branded products, famous brands, they've gone up by 11.9%.
Yeah.
Own label, supermarket own label brands have gone up by 18%. Within own label, they sometimes have different levels, like premium, budget, or standard. Okay, sorry, budget is the cheapest. So budget has actually gone up by 18.4% in the last 12 months. Premium own label products have gone up by 13.2%. So overall, for the basket of goods that Which looks at, grocery prices over the last 12 months have gone up by 14.7%.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coriander. ウインナートマト、これはちょっと高いんですけど、ちっちゃいトマトを買いましょうね。うちはトマトいっぱい食べるので。I like this apple.
Yeah. What type of apple is it? Bramley apples.
Yeah, to make apple crumble.
Yeah, nice. That pie you made was fantastic.
Ah,
Somebody ate it all.
yeah, that was good.
Who ate it all?
You.
I didn't see your face. Who ate it all?
You?
Yeah.
You want this?
Yep.
高いね、2本分。
2本? Seedless red grapes. Here you go. 2 for £4.
あ、OK。これが数が好きなやつ。Quite a reasonable price. これが4ポンド69ですね。4ポンド35。I think it's a bit expensive now.でもこれはそんなに変わってないかな。あんまり変わってるようには見えません。Should I buy one milk?
How many litres is that?
It's
3.4. It's pints, right? Of course, because we're British. 6 pints. 3.408 litres.
が
£2.35. Again, here there's a chart of which supermarkets have seen the highest inflation rate over the last 12 months. And the two budget supermarkets have actually had the highest increases in price.
Wow.
Okay.
Aldi and Lidl.
Aldi 19.6%, Lidl 19%. However, they're still cheaper than the more premium supermarkets.
Oh, really?
Okay, even though the prices have gone up the most, they're still cheaper. Okay, so in one of the reports, it's with the same basket of goods. I think between Aldi and Waitrose, the Aldi basket was 34% cheaper than Waitrose.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, we just went like 2 months ago, a couple months ago, and it was we are really surprised because we don't go to Aldi, but it was really cheap compared to where we shop normally. But the quality wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Point is, for shoppers who are on a budget, who need to shop. Or need to buy cheaper goods, the basics. They're facing a higher inflation rate than the headlines probably suggest. Okay. Interestingly, the supermarket with the lowest inflation rate over the last 12 months is Ocado, which is online only.
Yeah.
And their inflation rate is only 10.3%. What does it mean? It means despite overall supermarket inflation hitting 15%, the Which survey shows that typically cheaper own brand and budget items have risen much more sharply. So it's hitting poorer families harder. Okay.
今ねビデオ撮ってたんですけど、なんかねボタンが途中で切れて取れてなかったんですよ。I need olive oil. Big olive oil. が7ポンド99。これが3ポンド19。500くらい。It's a light one.
That's okay.
Why don't you get the?
They don't have low pack. That's not low pack.
Oh really?
Oh, is it? It is.
Just a Christmas version.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry. Okay, well, let's get 2 of those. It's 2 for £7. So.
2つで1000円ぐらいですね。ここで1ポンド35ぐらいでこのダディが大好きなパイ生地です。
Okay, you're kind of out of time.
Oh, okay. これが4ポンド。
But the budget lines are still cheaper than the premium brands. Okay, so it still makes sense to buy own brand budget products from Aldi and Lidl because they're still cheaper than famous brands, but they have increased much more in price over the last 12 months. So the impact on lower income families is greater, much greater. Which magazine's actually running a campaign called Affordable Food for All. Okay, and one of the points that they're making is that supermarkets actually have a lot of power to help people. You know, they have a lot of promotions running all the time. You know, they change from time to time. But which magazine is campaigning to encourage supermarkets to direct their promotional campaigns more towards the people who really need help in the areas where help is needed, and not just to drive revenue. What foods are getting more expensive? The categories of food which have had the biggest inflation over the last year, butters and spreads, 30%, milk, 27%, cheese, 21%, savoury pies, pastries and quiches, 19%, bakery, including bread, 18%, water, 18%, yogurt, 17%. So here you can see branded goods have gone up by 11.9%. Own label goods up by 18%. So why are food prices rising? Prices for feed, fertilizer and fuel have all gone up. $1.84 a litre. So
That's expensive.
It's come down a bit from
the really?
highs. Yeah. Diesel. This is normal diesel, so actually that's quite expensive.
Yeah.
Partly due to the Ukraine war, partly follow-on effects from the pandemic. Actually, which magazine doesn't mention Brexit, but there are a lot of research reports around which suggest that Brexit has added up to 6% onto the price of food
Okay.
in the UK.
こういうマガジンってありますかね。コンシューマーの消費者向けのどのプロダクトが安いかとかを比較して、でどうやったらセーブできるか、まあそういうのやってますよね、日本でも。まあね、安いプロダクトがあるところに行くっていうのね。でも忙しい人はなかなかそれができないですよね。
Avoid convenience stores.
いや、そうですね。まあそれは本当にそうです。
Is that the same in Japan?
Of course.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to convenience store to buy. Only our children. 本当に。
And me? Choose own label over big brands. Stock up when you can, if you can. All right. If you see, actually, one of the things in the survey, prices of individual goods fluctuate a lot. So if you see something cheap and you have the ability to stock up on it, if it's something you use regularly, then do that. But get an early evening bargain.
これはなんか日本でもありますよね。5時半過ぎたら刺身が安いとか、それを使えっていうことですね。
But one of the other main things here is make a list, because the supermarkets, well, all shops, all retailers, they use a lot of psychological tricks when you go in, when you're walking around the shop, to make you buy more than you actually need.
Yes.
Okay. So know where the basics are that you need to buy. Write down a list before you go. Go in there, get what you need, and go out and don't look at anything else.
そうですね。ということで、はい、なんかちょっと子供たちが待っているので、じゃあということで皆さんも良いクリスマスをお過ごしください。はい。はい。
終わり？
はい、終わりです。
はい。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。